But, one thing that I wanted to bring up or talk about with that is that in your book, one of the things you really try to get into is talking about developing kind of a well-rounded portfolio of income types. And you kind of have your income personalities and your different styles of income and trying to spread out so that you're not too heavily depending on just one thing. And that is that kind of did that play a part, I think, in like getting into YouTube and some different things like that? Because it sounds like, you mentioned you're doing, you did rideshare, you were doing some other work for some other things, and then Uber Eats and then YouTube, and maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that definitely played a role in it. I mean, pretty early on, I realized that when it comes to income, you got to have the right expectations. And I've seen so many people throughout the years, they're looking for another way to make money. So they look at all these ways and they either randomly pick one or they just decide to go with one. And then they turn out that they actually either don't like it or they can do it, but it's just not paying enough.
Right.
And when all that comes to close, they spent so much time on that income and now they don't even want it, maybe 6 months, a year, sometimes even years. Then they're kind of walking away all mad, like, I put all this energy into this income and for whatever reason, I don't even want it anymore. And that really inspired me to share my perspective on income because more important than the income itself is really the type, because the type is just a conduit for managing your expectations. People will say a lot about passive income, for instance, and it's partly because our society is so focused on get out there and make money that we overemphasize passive income. But if we stop to think for a sec, let's say if there's no getting out there and getting money, you're just receiving passive income. But what if my friends are going on a vacation, going on a yacht, and they invite me along? I don't have enough money. I would have enough in 3 months based on just passive income coming in, but I don't have it now. Well, if I have a little what I call active income, I call it permission to be impatient. And that's a great example where Uber Eats and Uber comes into play. I can go out there and make that
Absolutely.
money, get on the yacht with my friends. And that's an example of really categorizing incomes. And I go very heavily into that in the book. That way you can really decide what is it you actually want instead of jumping into something because the pressure at the time, oh, I just need money. I just need money. When, okay, what type of income do I want? How do I want to make it? You're setting your expectations so you don't select the wrong type. It just doesn't fit what you want or your personality type.
Yeah. I like something in your book where you quoted Robert Kiyosaki, and you said that when you were talking about, like, let's say doing something like the cruise with your friends or just all sorts of different scenarios, but you had a quote from Robert Kiyosaki where you quoted him as saying that it is the why that gives you the power to do the how. And I've always appreciated that kind of approach. And so, talk to me a little bit about that, because you talk a little bit about identifying some of your triggers, identifying the kinds of things that really make a difference to you, and how can, like, we as drivers, whether we're doing our delivery work or other gig work or even our jobs or passive or active, any kind of income, how can we use that why to motivate us?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So, the why is so important. Our society tends to focus very much on the how. And don't get me wrong, that's important. But if you look up statistics of people who start their own businesses or even get involved in network marketing, like there's a huge percentage of people that they don't follow through. And whatever they get involved, often the system is awesome. Like the how on how to make the money is just laid out in plain print. It couldn't be any more clear, but they still fall off. So we got to ask ourselves, why is that? But why is that is literally the word I keep saying. It's the why. That's the reason that we all need extra money, let's say when we're doing Uber Eats or rideshare, whatever it may be. But what gets you in that car? It's going to make it a lot easier if you have a strong why. And the why really has two sides. It has a side where you're passionate about something, whatever that may be. You might be passionate about starting your own business, passionate about being able to travel the world, and this is your conduit to be able to afford it. And on the other side, you also got to have something you really don't like about your current circumstance. Like you don't like the fact that you're going walking through the mall and you're forced to window shop instead of saying, you know what, I want that. Or you might want to get involved in some types of investments, but I don't have any money or I have limited money. Like there's a bigger behind that. Is people shy away from it because they say, oh, it's going to make me feel bad. But that's a source of power if it has somewhere to be directed. And that's where that why comes in, because if you have the why, then you find out the how. It could be Uber Eats, whatever gig. You can go and put in the work. And anytime you're tired or you're just mentally strained or feel like giving up, you just play that mental picture of the why in your head. All of a sudden, you're back to what you're doing full energy. That's why so many people become wealthy. They have very strong whys, whether it be more time to spend with their family, improving the lifestyle of their family as a whole, or it doesn't have to be some humanity or family thing involved. It could just be purely selfish. You might just want to be sitting on your butt on the beach sipping Mai Tais. If that's a strong enough why, as long as you're not hurting anyone, there's nothing wrong with it.
Right. Well, and I think that kind of makes a difference too. And, I think the other side of it is that sometimes we can get so caught up in the how that we forget our why. And, and I think almost as much of a tragedy of not getting anything done, not making any money, is to go out there and make the money, but then lose sight of your why and never really accomplish that. So it kind of, you kind of need to use that to create a little bit of balance, I think.